Ukraine has received cluster bombs from the United States. These munitions are banned in more than 100 countries. Ukraine has pledged that it will only use them to dislodge concentrations of enemy soldiers. This step has not gone down well with Russia. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu has warned that the country could resort to deploying similar weaponry if they are used. A Russian general has indicated growing discontent between Russian soldiers and the military's top brass. Ivan Popov has said that he was dismissed as a commander after he told the military leadership about the dire situation at the front line in Ukraine. He told the top brass that the Russian army lacked proper counter-artillery systems. Popov was in charge of Russia's 58th Combined Arms Army. Canada has unfrozen talks with Turkey on lifting export controls on drone parts. This comes after Ankara said it will support Sweden's NATO membership bid. Canada suspended the export of some drone technology to Turkey in 2020. This happened after Canada realized that its equipment had been used by Azerbaijan's forces fighting with Armenian troops over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region. A U.S. special counsel has urged the federal judge who's dealing with former U.S. President Donald Trump's classified documents case to deny his request to delay the trial. Trump wants to delay the trial until after the 2024 presidential election. Trump is one of the frontrunners for the 2024 Republican Party presidential nomination. He has been accused of unlawfully keeping classified documents when he left office in 2021. However, Trump has pleaded not guilty to these charges. The United States Senate Committee has passed a resolution recognizing the state of Arunachal Pradesh as an integral part of India. This pushes back China's claims that a large part of Arunachal Pradesh comes under its territory. The resolution will now go to the Senate floor for a final vote. This comes less than a month after the United States invited Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a state visit. Meanwhile, the Indian Prime Minister is on an official trip to France. He's been conferred with France's highest civilian honor by President Emmanuel Macron. It's called the Grand Cross of the Legion of Honor. Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister to receive this award. He's also the guest of honor in Bastille Day celebrations in Paris today. India is all set to launch Chandrayaan-3 from Sriharikota, which is located in the state of Andhra Pradesh. If this mission is successful, India would become the fourth nation to achieve a soft landing on the moon. India will also become the first country to reach the moon's south pole. The mission is worth $75 million. South Korea has announced new sanctions on North Korea. These sanctions will affect 4 North Korean individuals and 3 entities involved in the country's missile development program. This comes after North Korea tested a new ballistic missile. This was the 12th launch this year. South Korea and international bodies like the United Nations have sanctioned North Korea several times. However, Pyongyang has always moved forward with its missile development program. A UN agency has said that the world can end AIDS or at least achieve considerable reduction in new infections by the year 2030. A new annual AIDS update has shown that new HIV infections have reduced by 59% since its peak in 1995. It pointed out that there needs to be substantial investment in prevention and the treatment of AIDS. The city of Karachi in Pakistan has been ranked among the 5 least livable urban cities in the world. The Economic Intelligence Unit's Global Livability Index 2023 has ranked Karachi 169th out of 173 cities. Only Lagos, Algiers, Tripoli and Damascus are ranked lower than Karachi. The index focused on factors like post-pandemic recovery, cost of living, healthcare, education and infrastructure while ranking the cities. Moving on to climate news, residents of a suburb in Canada's Ottawa saw a rare tornado spinning past homes in the community. They saw debris being tossed and roofs being ripped off homes. No deaths were reported, but nearly 2,000 residents were left without power. Meanwhile, in the Canadian city of Montreal, officials say at least one tornado touched down in the city. Thick storm clouds swept over buildings, accompanied by streaks of lightning and the loud rumbling of thunder. However, there were no reports of injury or damage in Montreal either. New footage showed floods around the iconic Red Fort in India's capital city, New Delhi. People were seen wading through the flooded streets as vehicles remained submerged in water. This is after record rainfall swelled water levels in the Yamuna River, which runs through the city. The Yamuna River has already breached the danger mark and submerged a few adjoining areas in the city. Heavy rains lashed parts of northern China, and that triggered floods in multiple provinces. The roads were covered in floodwater, which prompted immediate evacuations. Footage shows severe flooding in parts of China's Shaanxi province. Authorities have initiated the Level 4 emergency response. It's the lowest of the country's 4-tier flood control system. A leading climate scientist believes Europe will face hotter and hotter summers. A heat wave has been moving across parts of southern Europe and Africa. The region is further expected to experience record-breaking temperatures in the next few days. Flames and thick smoke rose above scorched houses and burned cars after a wildfire broke out in the European country of Croatia. At least one village burned and several others have been threatened as temperatures continued to soar in the country. Temperatures are expected to stay around 40 degrees Celsius across the region into next week. A powerful storm pummeled southern Brazil. It flooded roads and homes, leaving at least one dead. Some cities in the northwest of the Rio Grande do Sul region declared a state of emergency. Many residents in affected areas have taken shelter in sports facilities in their towns. The authorities have warned about the risk of landslides in several areas. Meanwhile, residents in the northwest of Mexico avoided stepping out amid scorching heat. The region is toiling under soaring temperatures. This week, the mercury soared to 51 degrees Celsius. Local government and volunteers offered homeless people shelter, water, and oral rehydration salt packets to avoid heat strokes. Climate change experts believe New York, Chicago, and other US cities might be engulfed in smoke again soon. This is because Canada fires are expected to burn through the summer and into the fall. Experts believe that extreme events are going to become more frequent and perhaps more intense. They say that failing to take an action now could result in global temperatures increasing further. US climate envoy John Kerry has said that America will not pay reparations to developing countries hit by climate disasters. This was during Kerry's testimony at a hearing on the State Department's climate agenda. Last year, America had backed the creation of a funding mechanism to address the damages incurred by vulnerable countries due to climate disasters. But the deal did not spell out who would pay into the fund or how money would be dispersed. On to business news now. Australia has appointed the first female head of its central bank. Australian Treasurer Jim Chalmers and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced Michelle Bullock as the new head of the Reserve Bank of Australia. She will serve in the position for at least the next 7 years. The central bank's current governor, Philip Lowe, will leave on September 17th. This will mark an end to his 43-year career at the bank. The National Australia Bank has reached a deal with a union to let employees work from home. This is one of the first deals in the world to give legal protection for remote work. As part of the agreement, the company will also raise pay for its employees by 80%. The founder and former CEO of bankrupt cryptocurrency lender Celsius Network has pleaded not guilty to US fraud charges. Alex Mushinsky has been accused of artificially inflating the value of his company's proprietary crypto asset and misleading customers. Mushinsky was charged with 7 criminal counts, including securities fraud, commodities fraud, and wire fraud. The Indian Finance Ministry is not considering any tax waivers for US automaker Tesla. Yesterday, reports said that the automaker is in talks with Indian government officials to set up a factory in the country. It was also reportedly seeking incentives and tax benefits. Last month, Tesla CEO Elon Musk met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his state visit to the US. After this, Musk had announced that the US carmaker would soon make an investment in the country. India's largest private bank, HDFC, has signed up over 100,000 customers and nearly 200,000 merchants. This is for pilot programs using the country's central bank digital currency called e-rupee. The lender has also linked the e-rupee to the Unified Payments Interface or UPI digital payment system. This will enable payments using the digital currency and UPI through a QR code. The International Monetary Fund said that its bailout to Pakistan was an immediate effort for quick policy implementation. An IMF official said that the program will provide the country enough time to implement necessary policies. Yesterday, Pakistan received $1.2 billion from the fund as the first tranche of the $3 billion bailout. Share prices of Google's parent company Alphabet rose nearly 5% on Thursday. This was after it rolled out its artificial intelligence chatbot Bard in Europe and Brazil. Bard's launch in the European Union was earlier paused by local regulators over privacy concerns. However, Alphabet says that it has spoken with the officials to reassure them. The US antitrust regulator has opened an investigation into ChatGPT maker OpenAI. The Federal Trade Commission has accused the company of going against consumer protection laws. It is probing if OpenAI engaged in unfair practices that harmed customer reputation and put their data at risk. This is the strongest regulatory threat so far to the Microsoft-backed AI startup. Twitter has filed a lawsuit against 4 unnamed entities in the US state of Texas. The complaint alleged that the entities indulged in unlawful data scraping. According to the lawsuit, the social media company is seeking monetary relief of more than $1 million. Earlier this month, Twitter imposed reading limits for its users, citing data scraping and system manipulation on its platform. U.S. Commerce Department Secretary Gina Raimondo was among a group of senior American officials whose emails were hacked. This was during a security breach that hit Microsoft earlier this year. The company said that Chinese hackers had exploited a secret flaw in its authentication software. They broke into email accounts belonging to 25 unnamed organizations. Now in sports news, the ICC has announced equal prize money for men's and women's cricket teams at its global events. As per the cricketing body, the move is a bid to bring in pay parity, ushering a new era in world cricket. According to ICC Chair Greg Barclay, this decision is a significant moment in the history of cricket. The International Cricket Council is looking to implement this decision by 2030. India's premier off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin has become the third Indian bowler to claim 700 wickets in international cricket. Ashwin achieved this feat against the West Indies on day one of the first test in Dominica. Former India head coach Anil Kumble is on top of the chart with 956 international wickets. Off-spinner Harbhajan Singh is on the second spot with 711 wickets in international cricket. Chennai Super Kings-backed Texas Super Kings are set to host the Los Angeles Knight Riders in Major League Cricket's first game in the US. Investors have already said that they'll pour $120 million into the nascent US Cricket League. India's Viacom 18 is broadcasting the games, which will end on July 30th. The sport has been steadily growing in popularity in the US for years, especially in places with large South Asian populations. Ashley Young has become Premier League club Everton's first signing of the transfer window. The 38-year-old penned a one-year deal with the Toffees on Thursday. The former Manchester United fullback joins on a free transfer after his contract at Aston Villa expired at the end of last season. Young has also reunited with Everton manager Sean Dyche. Dyche was Young's captain when he made his breakthrough at Watford back at the beginning of his career. Saudi Pro League club Al Ittifaq are waiting on Jordan Henderson to give them the green light to make a formal offer to Liverpool. The Steven Gerrard managed side have proposed more than tripling Henderson's $220,000 a week salary. A 2-year contract has been mooted, which includes the option of a third year. Al Ittifaq are ready to bid whatever transfer fee is necessary to secure Henderson, who has 2 years left on his current contract. Everton midfielder Dele Alli has revealed he was sexually abused at the age of 6. This was during an interview. The 27-year-old also explained how he attended rehab for 6 weeks earlier this year. After winning the last of his 37 England caps in 2019, Ali fell out of favour at Tottenham Hotspur, which prompted a transfer to Everton. He has since struggled to make an impact, spending last season on loan at Turkish side Besiktas. Juventus have initiated the procedure to pull out of the European Super League project. Juventus said they had started a discussion on their exit with Real Madrid and Barcelona, the other clubs remaining in the project. Their exit would be completed and effective only if authorized by Real Madrid and Barcelona. The breakaway Super League was formed in April 2021. In tennis, Ukraine's Lyudmila Kichenok, along with Croatian partner Mate Pavic, won the mixed doubles title at Wimbledon. They beat Belgium's Jogan Flien and China's Zhu Yifan to lift the trophy. Pavic is a 6-time Grand Slam champion, and this is Kichenok's first major title in any format. In athletics, India's Abhishek Pal won bronze at the Asian Athletics Championships in Thailand. He grabbed a podium spot in the men's 10,000-meter event. This is his first medal at a major competition. Pal's next event is the 5,000-meter race that will take place on Sunday. India's Senapati Pallavi won gold in the 2023 Commonwealth Weightlifting Championship. She secured the top spot in the 64 kgs junior category. Pallavi also claimed a silver in the above 20 age group in the same weight category. Moving to entertainment, leaders of Hollywood's Actors Union voted to join screenwriters striking to demand higher pay. This is the first time since 1960 that two major Hollywood unions are striking at the same time. The last time this happened, Ronald Reagan was the Actors Guild president. The strike has affected production across the entertainment industry. It comes after a new contract with studios and streaming services broke down. Disney CEO Robert Iger has said that Hollywood writers are not being realistic with their demands and expectations. Iger said, and I quote, We have talked about disruptive forces on this business like recovery from COVID. This is the worst time in the world to add to that disruption. He added that the strike will have a very damaging effect on the entertainment business and there's a huge collateral damage. The cast of Oppenheimer made its final push to promote the film at the red carpet in London. The movie has been directed by Christopher Nolan. It takes audiences back to the time when an American physicist, Robert Oppenheimer, oversaw the creation of the atomic bomb during the Second World War. The list of nominees for the annual Primetime Emmy Awards was recently announced by the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. The contenders for Best Drama Series include Succession, The Last of Us, and The Crown. Wednesday, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Ted Lasso are some of the nominees for the Best Comedy Series. Jimmy Kimmel Live, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah have been nominated in Outstanding Talk Series category. Media personality Robert Kardashian has made a subtle return to the show The Kardashians. In a new episode, Rob could be heard on the phone with his sister Khloe Kardashian. The two were planning Rob's daughter Dream's 6th birthday party. Rob Kardashian had stepped away from his family reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians after facing ups and downs in his private life. Rob Kardashian chose to step away from the limelight. Actor Kevin Costner has accused his former wife Christine Baumgartner of robbing him blind before their split. New court documents allegedly claim that according to Costner, Baumgartner purchased personal items and withdrew cash using credit cards from his household staff. The claims have come to light over 2 months after Baumgartner filed for a divorce. Sex and the City actor Kristen Davis has revealed why she does not relate to the character Charlotte York that she played on the hit show. Davis said, and I quote, "I am not married, have never been married, it is not my thing, I never focused on it." In the show, the character played by Davis, Charlotte, was married twice and had a traditional and polite personality. Actor Helen Mirren has said that she has been inspired by the widespread protests happening in Israel against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Mirren played the role of former Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir in her movie Golda. The 77-year-old actor visited Jerusalem and made the statement during the Jerusalem Film Festival. Late legendary singer Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Mary Presley, died due to a small bowel obstruction. This was a delayed consequence of weight loss surgery. This information has been revealed almost 6 months after Mary Presley's death. In January, she was taken to a hospital after a reported cardiac arrest. Actor Robert De Niro's girlfriend, Tiffany Chen, has revealed that she has been diagnosed with Bell's palsy. Chen says she developed Bell's palsy after giving birth to her daughter. It's a condition that causes sudden weakness in the muscles on one side of the face. 64-year-old Chen and 79-year-old De Niro met in 2015 on the set of the movie The Intern. They started dating several years later.